No, I got one.
What's your overall? I know the season's not over, but the progress you guys have made as a unit, as a group, from last year. What's your kind of overall assessment of where you are?
Yeah, I think the guys have done a really nice job throughout the entire season in terms of just trying to help out the team any way we can. We've had, a couple big returns on punt return. Our coverage on punt has helped out in some pretty big situations. But again, for myself, it's always just trying to get these guys ready each and every week and let them kind of shine on whatever day we're playing. It's all credit to the players. I can only do so much in terms of I want to help them try to game plan as much as I possibly can, but for them to, we kind of spoke about it before the season started. As long as we can believe in the game plan and we trust each other, it'll all play out. I think they've done an outstanding job. Even the guys, that have been brought up, practice squad elevations, going back down, always staying ready. And it's really credit to Joe P. and Tyler Brown, getting all those guys ready. I try to give, them the main course of the whole thing, but if they have any other questions that I possibly can't get to, Joe P. and Tyler do an unbelievable job of answering all those questions, everybody just being on the same page.
You know that Braden was, we've seen him kick far kicks, we've seen him do very well at angling kicks. How big was that? I mean, obviously the end result wasn't great, but to hit that 42-yarder, drop it at the 8, at that moment, that's exactly what you want. Obviously, maybe a little closer, but in that situation, how important was that for him?
Oh, it was unbelievable, and the great thing about it is the communication and trust, the comfortability that me and Braden have on game day. I really don't try to ask them too many questions. They're all professionals. They know what they're going to do. But, as the drive started, whoever started backed up, just going forward, just saying, hey, we have this in our bag. And we feel real confident with it in terms of where we are in the field position, what was the opposing team going to do within that down and distance. You have an ability with, how good you are and your traits to hit this specific type of ball to really down it. And I thought the coverage team did a really good job of, one, just bleeding the clock, trying to bleed the clock as much as they possibly could and take down that time. And again, just reverts back to us being that third phase is just helping that team in any way we possibly can, whether it's setting up the offense in good field position or giving the defense a long field to protect.
How do you personally handle the balance of confidence and accountability when there are shakeups on the coaching staff?
Oh, I'm just here to support anybody throughout this building. The building supports us, so I try to do the exact same thing, not just, in here, but in life. You never know what somebody's going through. You always want to just, give them a helping hand. If they need words of encouragement, I'm more than happy to be there. If they need somebody to vent to, I'm more than happy to be there. It's not hard to be a good human being.
Michael, the Giants picked up
about having spent some time with the special teams group over the course of the season. What were those conversations like?
Yeah, Matt's office, it's just a couple doors down the way, and I'm never a person to not take advice from somebody, regardless of the experience. Matt's been around Super Bowl teams a good amount of his career. Just to ask him, different type of tackling questions, different type of coverage responsibilities, just things of that nature. And Matt's been awesome. Very glad that he's been able to be a part of this staff. To ask questions. What did you do when you had Teddy Bruschi, Rodney Harrison, Larry Izzo on your team, guys that are really good, Matt Slater, what was their, train of thought like, and just to, pick his brain. There's so much to learn, regardless in the NFL or in just life. So just having somebody else to ask questions is awesome.
Michael, the Giants picked up the third kicker of the season, Cade York. What do you know about him?
Yeah, Cade, out of LSU, was drafted in Cleveland, so we have a couple years of tape against him. Very strong leg, very confident kicker. And T-Mac does an unbelievable job with his special teams, has always done an unbelievable job with his special teams. So I just envision, Cade to be ready when his number is called. And again, we got to be ready for anything. There's enough tape out there where we could go back and look, if there's any tells where he's going to kick the ball or of that nature. But, going in the NFL, you never know who's you're going to go against. But we got to be ready for anything.
Giants are among top teams in terms of net punting yards. What does Gillen does well when he's playing the ball? What about that coverage and what's causing him to be among them?
Yeah, James Gillen's doing an unbelievable job this year. He's really pinning returners, kind of taking away their avenue of, getting north and south. He's putting it outside the numbers with some good hang times and allows their gunners to make a lot of plays. And also, T-Mac does an unbelievable job of kind of giving out some different formations that you got to really study and make sure you're on point just in case they want to try something funky out of it. So it puts extra stress on not the players, but myself to make sure the game plan is pretty good to get us as many yards as possible. So it's going to be a big challenge. I think you're correct. I think they're the #1 punting team in the NFL, and they've done an unbelievable job. So, it'll be a good one with our punt return team and, the success we've had against a very good punt team.
The conditions weren't very good at the end of that game Monday night, obviously. How much does something like that, the cold, the rain, whatever, affect Jake's range?
Yeah, I mean, Mother Nature affects a lot of things, but, as we were moving forward, the communication was great between myself, Nick, and Jake, on what we were going to try and do. But, whenever our number's called, I think I've said it before, we're going to try and go out and execute regardless of the distance that's ahead of us. Obviously, late in the game, you really ain't got much of another choice to do but go out there and try to execute a long field goal.
What was Jake's max range, just based off of pre-game warm-ups tonight?
Yeah, it always varies. That wind was starting to shift a little bit in terms of during the first half it was going one way, then the second half it kind of flipped a little bit. And Jake, he's very, fluid on what his range is going to be throughout the game. But again, whenever our number's called, we're going to try and go out there and make a huge play. I'm sure in that Buffalo game, we probably didn't think we'd have to go out there for that long field goal. But when we tried out there, Jake had all the confidence in the world, and he did what he does.
Michael, there were obviously some hiccups with special teams over the last couple of years before this season. The vote of confidence from Nick, how much did that mean to you, and how much behind the scenes was he still encouraging you to help and get this thing righted?
Yeah, Nick does an unbelievable job of just instilling, trust and confidence in whoever's in this building. I can't say enough good things about the head coach and this whole building and everything. And again, just like anything in life, there's going to be times where you're going to get beat up in terms of that nature, but won't be the last time, probably not the first time that I have to, pick myself up and get a good group of guys going, and they've done an unbelievable job this year. But Nick's been awesome. I can't say enough good things about him in terms of his encouragement and the confidence, going from last year to this year, and just trying to, like I do in anything in life, just try to pay everybody back for what they've done for me, and hopefully it comes back forward when I'm a little bit older in age.
Why do you think he was still so confident?
I think he understands, in terms of the work ethic that we all have in this building, special teams wise. Obviously, the end product at times last year wasn't what we wanted. Call a spade. Nothing, it wasn't good enough in the NFL, production-based business. But I think he understands how hard we work, and to try and help this team any way we possibly can, and seeing what the guys will do for us in terms of just understanding that we always have their back, and we're just trying to look out for them to get the best that they possibly can. And I think, back to Nick just being, unbelievable in terms of that is he keeps seeing it. I got to keep repaying it back to him to put this team in the best possible spot we have. And like I said, the guys have been doing an unbelievable job all year, and it's shown in a lot of big games that we've helped in field position, helped spark the energy for this team. But again, still 3 more weeks in this regular season. We still got a very good opponent. We all know conference games, divisional games. There's always something heated up with that. So we got to get ready for the New York Giants and put our best foot forward.
Because Brenton has been so successful returning punts, is there a likelihood that they're punting higher and giving up some driving distance so that he'll be forced into fair catches?
That's up to what the other team's, philosophy is. Michael Dixon had a gross net of like 59-50. It's not like he was trying to hang it up there. He's trying to make it at least a little bit harder for us. But Covey does an unbelievable job of getting north and south and eating chunk yards in a hurry. So again, whatever their philosophy is to theirs. But we got to be ready to field every ball we possibly can. And if there's a shot, the confidence from the 10 guys blocking for Covey has been unbelievable. And we got to keep doing that and help our offense with the field position battle.
Josh Jobe is the Eagles' representative for a special team around the Pro Bowl bout. What have you seen from Josh behind the scenes that can be attributed to his jump from year 1 to year 2?
Yeah, I mean, the old Wild Stallion. There's a lot of words I could say, but just the unbelievable maturity process of going year 1 to year 2, seeing the speed of the NFL, just his determination really to be the guy. Obviously when Zach McPherson went down with the Achilles, he was kind of the leader in the perimeter room. Then Josh was the second most experienced guy in there, so he kind of had to take that leadership role. And Josh really doesn't say much, but he's very cerebral in terms of the special teams aspect, getting down there. His physical traits, tall, long, can run, and he's got a motor, and he's one of those guys that you like having on the outside because he sets the tone. when he's running down there, and he's done an unbelievable job. I know it started off in New England on that sideline against Marcus Jones, where he didn't stop his feet, ran through Marcus, and got a forced fumble out of it. But he's been doing an unbelievable job and kind of setting the tone for those younger guys, the Sydneys, the Keeleys of the world, Eli. So I can't say enough good things about Josh.
With Avonte Maddox coming back to practice, how much can special teams be a spot where he might reacclimate himself?
Shoot, I'll take anybody to help out special teams, especially with a guy of that caliber, Avonte. But, it's a discussion we always have from the top down, like, hey, how do we get this guy back into it, game playing shape? So, if he wants to help out on special teams, I've got open arms for him to come out and help us out.